but the show rolls on. Jake's pain sings a quiet song. In the sun, where we all fall, wrestling rumors, wrestling brawls. Jake and Cody calling it raw. In the sun, we're breaking rules.
What's going on, ladies and gents? That it's not about you. It's about your coward of a husband. CM Punk is out there. We're live for the SmackDown review, September 5th, 2025. Becky Lynch is in the ring with CM Punk as we speak. I've got the one, the only, the man, myth, and legend, Cody Onidi 316.
Give me a hell yeah!
What's going on? I can't wait. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this all week. You don't know how excited I've been. Even if she's not there, you're going to hear
hiding in the
skybox.
Seth, hiding behind his wife. I'm going to give you the chance.
If she's not here, we're saying stuff that will get us banned from YouTube.
She said, "How's your face feeling?" I'm dual screening it up, folks, just for you guys. Becky just as rude and dismissive as ever, just going up to Punk saying, "How you feeling, huh? Old man, how's your face?" After she slapped the ever-loving snot out of it.
Becky's got to learn the lyrics to light it up.
You're getting... Punk just said, "You will let them chant the name AJ Lee. If it bothers you so much, you shouldn't have stuck your nose in my business. We are in Chicago."
Yeah,
that's
we are.
Right, not Toronto.
Yo, we clutched up in Toronto 11.
Oh, which one of Punk's sisters are going to jump the rail and go beat Becky's ass? She's raising her hand right there. The one half blonde, half dark-haired. She's got it. "I could have Bailey," he says, "and beat your ass." And she laughs about that. I kicked her ass too. Who else you got? You got any more friends? Ooh. Calling out Rhea Ripley, calling in a favor. Oh, she just slapped Punk again. Cody, you seeing this? She's laying in those smacks deep. What's going on, guys? Happy to have you both in the chat. More beer indeed. I'm lacking, but we're high and mighty on SmackDown. It's been a good night so far. Predictable, but very entertaining. Predictable is not always a bad thing either. She's literally just running her head into it as Seth dances in the audience. Punk is getting out of the ring.
That's how I predicted it.
He's walking away.
That's how I
think that's it. No one's there to help him, Cody. They're gonna cut the commercial and that's it. Punk's an embarrassment. The city of Chicago, messing it up for everybody. What's wrong with you folks? He said this is the situation he wanted to avoid. Why couldn't it have been in Toronto?
Yo, we clutched up in Toronto.
Sorry. He said he wanted to avoid this situation. Thankfully, I got somebody who will. Oh, he's got a partner. We're getting that tag match at WrestlePalooza. Who is it? AJ Lee! The worst kept secret in all of wrestling. Seth is beside himself. Becky is very unhappy, and the crowd goes insane. Oh, YouTube gods, I wish we could share this, but we are currently live on YouTube, on Rumble, on Twitter/X. AJ Lee has returned. Punk has the biggest smile on his face. This crowd is going absolutely insane. She looks amazing. She looks like they took a time, warp version of her and plucked her from 14, 15 when she was last there. She's skipping. She got the shoes, the outfit, all of it. It's literally AJ Lee from the last time we saw her. Maybe with some more muscles. I don't know. She's got even more of a defined six-pack, but holy hell. She doesn't look a day different. Incredible. I see why Punk chose Whiteley. He loves crazy chicks. Chose wisely indeed. Cody, listen to that crowd. That ovation. This is what I live for. I love those wrestling pops. You know, when Alexa Bliss came back at the Rumble this year, when Wyatt came back, you know, I think you get those moments, the crowd for Paris, for the AJ, both years now. These are the things that excite me above all else. And that eruption, they knew it was going to happen, but they couldn't wait for it. And she has her original theme song. Let's light it up. She's there, dusting her feet off. We haven't seen her get physical yet.
Fucking go.
Come on, squaring up against Becky. The crowd is at a fever pitch. She's just prancing and skipping about, mind games galore. AJ Lee is here. She is back. Holy shit, Chance. Look at her just sitting on the ropes and owning it. Vintage AJ Lee here, waving. Becky does not want it. And oh, spear straight down to the ground and pound. AJ Lee dominating on top, making her look like Carrot Top, less of Becky Lynch. She's just housing her here. Gets her back inside the ring, snatched her by her hair. AJ Lee, what's she gonna do? Takes her down to the mat. Becky trying to get out of there. Oh, another press. A little bit of Stone Cold in her tonight. AJ Lee is going insane.
Hell yeah.
She just hasn't stopped. She's got Becky by the neck, taking her full effect here. What's going to happen? She's got Becky tight, licking her hand. Oh, the ultimate chick duster. Look at that slap across the face. Give it a little bit extra spice on it to send her flying. Punk is a proud dad. Seth will not get over the guardrail. Oh, but Becky just sees who she's crawled in front of. Punk is there. Is he going to throw her back in the ring for AJ? I think he should. Some people say that's even a bit too far, but he should have picked her ass up and put her back in the ring so she could have killed her. One more time. Let's go. Seth now over the barricade, grabbing his wife, getting him out of dodge. Punk loves crazy chicks. Ah, this was great. You love to see it. Look at that. Ah.
Seth fell.
She's embracing him. I got goosebumps on that one. I'll give it to him. It's great to see the two married couples doing what they love to do. She's back. Like we said, I admit defeat. This is the best way possible to bring her back. They sold out Chicago off of her name alone. I cannot wait to see how WrestlePalooza turns out. Whatever AEW does, they're going to have to do it quick that day, because as soon as they end, this begins for WrestlePalooza. And with Lesnar opening the show by interrupting Sami Zayn's United States title open challenge, they got Lesnar. We're getting Drew and possibly Cody still. We don't know, because now we're getting Randy and Drew next week. I mean, there's a lot of what ifs. There's a lot of scenarios. We're going to get into all of SmackDown. Don't you worry. It's going to be a blast. We appreciate you guys being here, hanging out with us. We'll be back in a jiffy. You got our live reaction into Somewhere reviewing SmackDown starts in a minute.
Eclipse of suplex, dreams and chair shot screams. Fans in the chat throwing wild extremes. Jake's got crutches, but his spirit won't bow. Cody laughs, Jake
this way I can
wipes
fix my
his
chair and
brow.
shit. Grab a drink.
Calls a shot, Spaz breaks the game. Cody's in the fray, adding to the flame. Ladders they rise, fists hit the air. Chaos erupts without a care. Triple A's warriors and XT's pride. Only one walks with glory inside. Into somewhere we scream and shout. Breaking it down, no shadow. Into somewhere where we breaking it down. CM Punk, John Cena tearing up the town. Broke half on fire, no one spit it better. Reef wing like a beast, no one does it clever. Cena through elbows, Punk through shade. Chains clang, bodies bang, rivalry displayed. Slammed into the chains like lions in the cage. Toronto all the rage. In the summer, in the summer, the gardens buzzing, New York sound. In the somewhere where we break it down. CM Punk, John Cena tearing up the town. Bro can't fall on fire, no one spit it better. Reviewing like a beast, no one does it clever.
Forget that countdown timer.
I think it's time to light it up instead.
Woo! That's right, folks. Into somewhere reviewing SmackDown. You got our live reactions, but we had to go ahead and make some quick adjustments. There we go. I'm a little higher now. Cody, my good friend, glad to have you here.
Give me a hell yeah!
What's going on? What a SmackDown!
This
SmackDown
was a very good
once.
episode. Even without the AJ stuff happening, to keep that in a bubble, this was still a lot of fun, and it was a good night. Like I said before, predictable, but predictability is not always a bad thing. It means it's logical storytelling and progression. So I'm happy with what we got, and it leaves me wanting more, which. I'm not here just to rake on AEW, but up until when we were talking on Wednesday for Into Somewhere Weekly, we went ahead and we only knew of one match heading into that show. Yep. And that was a TBS title match that Mercedes was obviously going to retain in. So there was no draw to it. And that WWE's been good about at least usually giving you a bunch to look forward to. This week, they had no announced matches. We did get Damian Priest and Aleister Black, but everything that they had announced previously, now it was just Sami Zayn shows up, John Cena's going to show up, CM Punk will show up, because all they needed was the idea that AJ Lee would be returning, and by God damn it, she did. All the years that I spent hearing over and over and over that she's returning. Oh, look, somebody skipped. Oh, look, they're talking about a comic book. Oh, somebody said crazy chick. Like, the speculation and rumor there had its own conspiracy group. It was strong. And countdown ended be damned. We're here to go ahead and cover all of SmackDown. We've got some news as well about WrestlePalooza, what the card's shaping up to be, some ratings numbers. Cody, what's your immediate thoughts and feelings, my friend? I know you've been looking forward to her return more than anyone for a long time.
I'm so fucking excited about this. I've wanted her to return for a long time, and it's finally happened. It still doesn't feel real to me at all, but here we are. In the big 2025, we got an AJ Lee return, and she looks like she hasn't aged a day. It looks like we time traveled back to like 2012, 13, 14 when she was in her prime run as the Divas champion.
She looks amazing. She looks no different. And the funny part is, we had seen her, about 6 months ago when she did some public appearance, and I'm like, oh, wow, look how much different she looks. She pulled it off somehow. She looks fantastic. I'm marking out as much as you are, just because I know this means so much to people, and this is how I felt about Punk coming back to WWE. When he came to AEW, I was excited to see what they could do, but it never really filled the emptiness or the void that was, Punk deserved a main event Mania. He deserved to tell a better story. And since he's gotten back, he's been the focal point on, the Raw brand pretty much consistently. He's competed in just about damn near every PLE they've had. Even when injured, he was still a part of things. They kept him out in the forefront and made him an attraction. That's what we need here. AJ Lee is a numbers draw. Having this intergender match, this tag team match, is going to be a huge get for them. And we've seen this before. You reminded me of this the other day. Many people brought it up that we've seen Becky and Seth team up, and it wasn't so successful. They were facing Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans.
Yeah.
And it wasn't their fault either. But they did book them terribly going into the show. I mean, the two faces no one gave a damn about in Becky and Seth. It was kind of at that point where you were like, about both of them. You were kind of a little tired of it. And then Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin teamed up out of nowhere. Oh, it's just an enemy of my enemy type thing. The only thing that's memorable is, the Deep Six or End of Days that he hit on her. But that's one that always stands out because it is so taboo now. But you think back in the day, Stone Cold destroying Lita with a chair and taking things too far. So Shout out to Frederico and Duffman, Paul, everybody in the chat. Glad to see you there as well. Liz, thank you guys for hanging out on the YouTube side. To everybody on Rumble and Twitter, thank you for your eyes as well. Make sure you subscribe to us over on YouTube as we're live after every PLE and most TV shows. So we appreciate you all being here. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button and let us know, what was your favorite moment from tonight? Obviously, AJ Lee is going to be on the top of many people's lists. But besides that, what was great for you on SmackDown? We weren't sure if we were getting Drew and Cody, to happen or not. And it seemed like maybe they would have Randy step in and have that match at WrestlePalooza. But now that's next week on SmackDown. So a little bit of a surprise there as well. I was not expecting that to happen. All in all, though, I mean, they've made quite a compelling case for everybody to want to tune in already for next week. They announced that Brock Lesnar will be there, so that's massive. You've got Drew and Randy, like I just said, and then Tiffany Stratton is putting her WWE Women's Championship on the line against the Eye of the Storm herself, Jade Cargill. That's something. I mean, that's a big show on paper. That's one of the things, like, I said to a few of you earlier, on paper, Damian Priest, Aleister Black, that feels like, that sounds anyways on paper like the match to watch. But I don't know if it's just their styles not clicking. I don't believe they ever worked together on NXT. And I think they only faced each other possibly once on the main roster, like 2020 era, maybe. I don't recall exactly, but they're just not gelling well. It's not clicking. Some of the stuff is okay. The ending with the Black Mass looked good, but we had the official I am the table spot over for Matthew at Botchamania. That announce table did not want to collapse. They must not have let go of the supports underneath. I think that's so cool that they have those little like flick supports, so it'll definitely collapse on the side. So the more you know, the more you learn about the tricks of the trade. And we are spoiled about a lot of things. And giving a quick update about this Raja Jackson case. Cody, we were saying before, the LAPD drags their feet, but now we're hearing that the state police is actually taking evidence as well. And they're saying an arrest will be made. They just have to figure out what the charges are. They've been talking to wrestlers. They've been talking to promoters. They had wrestlers come in and explain things like, oh, detectives sat down asking, like, what's a receipt? What's a work? What's a job? All these type of wrestling terms that they had no clue about. They're like, explain it to all of us and make it make sense. What would a receipt normally be like? What would that consist of? Because they have to go over all the different angles of this. No one is 100% guilty or innocent. Everybody has a little bit in there, but people forget that Stu apologized multiple times, tried to do a make good, and apparently Raja was there to work with Stu initially. So him filming outside thought that they were already ready to work. That's why he got into character. Still, it wasn't him making him to be a bitch or anything like he tries to say. Rampage is a terrible father. I know he doesn't deserve to get death threats. That's terrible and does nothing to help the situation. But Raja needs to be punished, and it sucks that it is jail or prison. But until he gets help, he's not safe. You can see that. You can blame the concussion if you want to, but that's rage deep in his heart. He was angry. He was insulted. That wasn't an on the whim thing where he just got carried away. He told us on that live stream, on that kick stream, he outright said to his audience, I'm no bitch. Nobody's going to make me a bitch. I'm going to him up and I'm going to him. And that's all there is to it. Despot. He wanted to hurt him. He wanted to end him, and he said it multiple times. I'm not going to stop till somebody pulls me off him. They got to pull me off. I don't know why people didn't react sooner. Maybe people didn't realize what was going on, and it was just so stunning. I'm not sure why the ref didn't intervene sooner, and then they pinned him anyways. Like the man's choking on his blood and teeth. Still. Rampage is out there quoted saying, oh, my son, I for my other two boys, I put away college money, because they're Asian. And for Raja, I put away bail money. And Ariel Helwani really got on him for this. He's like, to be frank, and he asked him some really tough questions. Like, you're his dad. Shouldn't you be with him? He's like, no, he disgraced my name. Fuck him. He embarrassed me. So he's not supporting his kid. He's calling him a bitch openly. And he was the one that kind of made him snap because they had apologized, him and Stu, and he was hanging out with AJ Mana there, and his dad's like, "Oh, you're hugging up on a gay cowboy eating pudding type scenario," and making fun of him, calling him a bitch and calling him gay and all these things. So he got upset and pissed. And then when he sat down to watch the rest of the show, he got angrier and angrier. His chat foolishly and childishly triggered him repeatedly. You know what I'm saying? Childish on his part to even let that get to you. It's terrible all around. I'm glad Stu has gotten so much support. Anyone turning the blame on him is ridiculous. The Federation should not have allowed
Mark Henry.
anybody. Yeah, anybody should not have, being able to blame them, blame Stu. But he made good for it. He apologized. It wasn't done out of malice or anger.
Wait, and again though, the beer can thing, right? That wasn't even a real.
It was worked.
Can,
the
right?
whole
Wasn't
it was a prop thing. Yeah, it wasn't like it hurt him. Raja even said, "Oh, it didn't hurt me. My pride was hurt."
Right.
I mean, and that's the biggest thing here too. The DA, I guess, the reason why it's because at first I'm like, why has he not been arrested? They want to make they have to plan out and know exactly what the charges are going to be. And there's so much evidence, so many angles, so many people to talk to. They've been investigating. I just wish they were a bit clearer on that.
I mean, yeah, they should have let that out from the get-go. They weren't clear on that whatsoever. But
no, I mean,
as long as justice is made here,
I think it will be. And whether or not Stu wants to press charges is irrelevant. The state's going to be the ones going after him. He live streamed all of this. And then he was yelling like, "Oh, my cameraman should have shut it off or should have looked away or something." Like, no, you did this in front of Stu's mother, in front of children in that audience. You traumatized them. There are people now that can't work in the wrestling business ever again because of this. All the people that were training at that school, any of them had WWE prospects. That's gone because they lost their ID program. Like, so many lives were affected because you couldn't handle your rage and your mental issues. You want to blame the concussion? Fine. Then you should not have been out. And Rampage just belittles his son so publicly and quickly, and then tries to be like, "Oh, this concerned dad," but he's being discussed by, like I said, not just LAPD but the state police as well, so they can do a deeper dive and further investigation. An arrest will be coming. I don't know. The thing about here is intent. They need to prove intent. I mean, even Rampage said my son needs to be going to jail, not prison, but jail. And some other people were saying like, "Oh, he might not be arrested," but from what I've last read, like, no, it's happening. It's just
well, if it's not jail or prison or anything, he needs some sort of help.
Oh, absolutely, but he's going to get arrested. I mean, that is apparently happening, and it's just a terrible situation all around, and I hope that he's doing well. Better not be the State Patrol from WCW. They'll never get anything done. But thoughts out with, Stu, and hopefully Raja can overcome all of this, because it's terrible. And especially on such a great night. You got CM Punk. Liz sent me of him singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Another thing.
Hold on one second. We got Punk belting out. Beautiful. What was that, my good man?
Another thing before we get into the review, there was a little issue between Nikki Bella and Wade Barrett, I believe.
Yeah.
Saw that.
Yeah, you went ahead and looped me into this earlier. So interesting. And yes, we're excited. AJ Lee, first time in 10 years. What a pop. That was amazing. We'll be talking about it shortly. Yeah, poor guy went ahead and got called out on her podcast, on Bella's podcast, and she was saying that Wade Barrett wasn't, be the nicest guy. And she's like, "I'd love to have a conversation with him. He avoided me on Monday. I saw what Wade was saying about me on the pre-show." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." All he did say was like, "Oh, she hasn't wrestled in a long time, so now she has to basically like, is she able to prove that she belongs?" Yeah, obviously.
Right.
You've had a battle royal match, and that was your first singles match, and it was a title match, and you're doing all this stuff. Like, it makes sense. He said, "I had no idea Nicole felt this way. I'm happy to have this conversation." So good there. He said, conversation anytime she likes. I wish she'd brought it up when we said hello to each other the other night at Raw rather than her podcast. And he continues here. I don't understand the avoiding claim at all. It's simply not true. And he's even saying that he said hello to her at Raw the other day. So, in which she kind of acknowledged too and said it was awkward. So how can he be avoiding you and it's awkward? I don't know, Nikki. And the fact that he has to even come out and defend himself is kind of ridiculous, but he had to make himself get over here.
I don't think anyone's even mad at. I don't think that many people are mad at Wade Barrett. Like Nikki Bella maybe wanted it to be. It sounds like Nikki's being a bit of a drama queen.
Yeah. Yet again, unfortunately, it seems like that's the case. And sad, but true.
Oh, wait, on. What did he say exactly that set her off?
Something about her run, you know, like, oh, she needs to prove herself, and this is what needs to be done. So she's only wrestled a couple matches. She needs to go ahead and prove that she belongs in the division nowadays. Like, she needs to go up against today's standard and prove that she's made it. And I don't think any of that was rude. No, not at all. Like, plus he's a heel commentator, but it fit with the story.
But she comes from a different era that she's even mentioned.
Yeah.
Like, I think the talent is a lot better now.
No doubt about it. And that's kind of the thing. The women wrestlers of yesteryear, I mean, this is a totally different thing in different time at this point. So, I mean, I don't know what they were going for, but it's kind of ridiculous. Granted, this was a very hot episode. Really quick, TNA Bound for Glory. You know, they've got the tag team champions, Matt and Jeff Hardy, taking on Team 3D, Bully Ray, Bubba Devon, going against each other. Bubba and Devon, one last time, Team 3D. I don't care who wins. That's going to be incredible. I'm really excited for that. Hopefully Devon's okay. We don't need him to go ahead and have another stroke or anything. Like, all joking aside, the man is a bit more fragile than he used to be, and this is going to be probably pretty hard hitting, right? Yeah, I imagine so. Then we got Trick Williams. You know, I think it's time to drop that. So Tripp's going to go ahead and he's going to lose that belt, I think. But we'll get into predictions as we get closer to October 12th. And then we have Ash by Elegance defending her title against Indy Hartwell. But that's kind of not true, because Masha is challenging Ash for the Knockouts title on the September 26th Victory Road show that's going to be on TNA Plus. So whoever wins that night will face Indy Hartwell at Bound for Glory. So a little bit of editing there. Interesting, though. John Cena's final appearances, they just added 2 more dates to let you know. So he's going to be in Boston and then New York City. So he's going to be at the TD Garden in Boston Monday, November 10th. And then Madison Square Garden Monday, November 17th in New York as part of his farewell tour. So Saturday night's main event in Boston in December is not going to be his last time, because or else they wouldn't announce him in Boston as that's being his last. So we got to see what changes there.
Yeah, so Washington, D.C. is his last match.
Seems like it's going to be. Then we've got the NXT rating. They did 655,000 viewers this week, and that was up from 616 the week before. AEW, however, having a rough week. They had an average of 472,000 viewers. This is the lowest.
Everything's fine over there.
That's the lowest ever.
Fine.
I said that night when we were live for Into Somewhere Weekly. We started at 9, and what's going on, Triple M? Love you too. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Thank you for being here. Yeah, killed me, but it just was a bad show. Like we were reacting to it kind of live. We were getting the results as they were happening, and the more things progressed, I'm like, they have a 8-man tag and then 2 6-man tags, and it's like, all right, you've got 28 people wrestling before the first hour's over. No story, just matches. What do we care about? Every time there's any story element to it, they ruin it. Oh, MJF has to cash in his
You don't want to get to Sicko's match.
Oh, he still got it. Well, that's the thing, and they're making dream matches still, but they're just not doing it making sense. Oh, everybody wants to see Edge and Christian versus FTR. Sign me up. FTR should be the tag champs.
There's a little more.
Or Edge and Christian should not have teamed up yet. Exactly.
the whole Ronda Rousey thing? Did we discuss that? Or
I mean, we talked about it for a bit on Wednesday, and with her basically saying that she's done, and they
Alexa
dangled.
Bliss kind of responded to it.
Yeah, she was saying that she loves this business, and because that's why they paired her and Alexa. Alexa was one of the top merch sellers and shirt sellers.
MJF, I think, even said Ronda's comments were ridiculous. I believe
Yeah.
MJF.
Exactly. You know what's something that has me concerned? So Jelly Roll, if you recall, when he was seen at Clash in Paris, he was sitting with somebody. Do you recall?
No.
His name
Who
and
was he sitting
No, it
with?
wasn't Joe Hendry. It was Post Malone.
Oh, okay.
Well, Post Malone is now basically working into getting himself involved in wrestling and wants to have a match. Acknowledge a match
Sorry. No.
at WrestleMania in Vegas this year. He said, I attended a WWE show. I think me and Seth Rollins got beefed. You could put that on paper too. Me, Seth Rollins, WrestleMania 2026 in Vegas. Come on, baby. He said, I've always wanted to do that, meaning wrestling. He said, I figured I had a different musculature and different career path. I would have been a WWE wrestler. So he's basically saying he wasn't athletic enough to do it. But now that he's a millionaire, he can just skip the line. Cool. I understand certain people, like even Jelly Roll, I was not crazy about doing his involvement and in him joining along. And it's like when certain celebrities fit, like, you know, Stephen Amell was doing full-on matches, but he was also doing, you know, the wrestling show. He had things building, like it made sense. It worked. Like Jelly Roll didn't really fit. I'd give Bad Bunny more leeway and credit than Jelly Roll. Like that was just a very random. Now he's best friends with you know, Randy Orton. He hates Drew and Logan Paul. Okay, so this is one of those things where it's like they're just going to keep bringing in celebrities. Why? Because they don't have stories. That was what we were worried about the other day. They're losing their long-term story. Like think about the Cena thing. There's not really been much of a story. It's just somebody attacks him, they have match, he moves on to next person. There's been no long, you know, narrative that happened with the heel turn back to a face. He was just like, this isn't working. I'm sorry. Come here, little chubby kid. I'm going to hug you now. I know I made fun of you, but last time I was an asshole and having a bad day. It's all worked out now. It's fine.
I like it. Oh yeah, man.
I don't know. It just like there's certain things that worry me and certain things that baffle me. I am entertained. I appreciate what they're giving us at certain points. I'm just worried. I'm happy we got AJ Lee back. Like that's great. I'm just like I said, legitimately I am worried because they're doing these things strictly for moments and moments and moments only. They want Seth Rollins dropping the crutches. Did it make sense? Why did he have to surprise Punk? Like there was no point to it, but it was, oh my God, we got the internet fooled. You thought he was injured. That's what they're there for. They want to break the internet. Oh my God, John Cena turned heel. We don't have a story for it, but he turned heel. Jelly Roll, like, he didn't seem natural. I agree, Michael. He was saying in the chat, hey,
Well,
what's going
Seth
on, King
Rollins
Ministry?
one, I think-
Hopefully you're doing well.
I think the Seth Rollins one, it would have made sense either way, whether he was faking an injury or was legit injured and cashed in, because he said he would make sure Punk is never walking around with that world title as long as he's breathing. So
I just take the happy pills.
I don't
and
understand
I say
the whole-
SmackDown's great. It's amazing. See? That's how that works.
But I still don't
I'm gonna
understand
come
the whole
lecture.
fake injury thing, because you could have still done that Punk and Gunther match if need be, and then Seth cashes in after Punk was beat up. But I digress, I guess.
Sorry, did you say something?
No.
All right, sorry. I fucked up. I totally blanked out. Regardless, yeah, Seth cashing in would have been cool. They could have done a bunch of stuff with it, but guess what? They didn't surprise us. They just had him not be injured because. See, I can still multitask. The happy pills keep me going. I don't want to complain. I want to like this because there are good things happening and things that are enjoyable. This is not the end of Vince's run where Roman was being force-fed dog food. You know, we've had bad times. We've had bad moments. I mean, just we're
Nothing
not
can
there.
be that bad, though.
Nothing. No, because there's a lot of things that are working, but there's also a lot of things that just don't have a story, or you see a lot of things get dropped. And
But
I'm not saying just
actually,
because of injury.
You
It's
know what?
not just injury. Things are
You
getting
know what? I
dropped
take that
randomly.
back. I think Raw's honestly getting back to that point a little bit. You can call me crazy if you want, but what are we really getting differently from Triple H's Monday Night Raws that we got from Vince's? We get illogical storytelling still. We get same shit, or you'll get rematch after rematch, same beginning, same middle, same ending. What realistically, how much
You're
different
not
is
wrong.
Triple H's booking compared to Vince's right now?
Let me tell you. Let me talk to you. It's different in nuanced ways. I feel like because you see,
I
how
think the only thing
morale
difference is like wrestlers have more freedom on the mic.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Those little nuances that makes the overall product more enjoyable. Is it
But other
miles
than that-
better? No, but it's certainly better than what it was. And those little differences do make a bunch of quality of life changes. I like this patch. We'll keep with this upgrade. Granted, I don't want to see Jelly Roll be a DLC, character into WrestleMania, especially against Seth Rollins. Not a good thing. All in all, though, I'm curious to see what they do with AJ Lee past WrestlePalooza. Speaking of AJ, though, AJ Styles put out on Instagram an hourglass with his symbol basically winding down in the hourglass. And a bunch of people started panicking on Twitter, being like, he's retiring. Oh, my God, he's retiring. And I'm like, even Newsweek put out a report you can see here. And I'm like, guys, he said this a long time ago. He said that he's not going to wrestle past 50 years old. He's just not. He said, I don't.
How old is he right now?
47 or 48. I know he's approaching that time. So, he's been in the business over 25 years. Well, you saw the phrase, don't you dare leave us, because Killer Cross wrote, Uncle Alan, I will turn that hourglass upside down. Don't you dare leave us. So everyone jumped on that saying, don't you dare leave us. He turns 50 in June of 2027. So he's 48 right now, just turned 48 in June.
But past
So you got WrestleMania 42 and 43, 50. and he's out. He's been consistently great for many years. I love the reaction he got at Clash this past weekend. But
I know you guys aren't gonna like it, but no, he is not winning the Intercontinental Championship. Sorry.
I would like to see him do it. I think he deserves it. I think it'd be fun to see him have that belt and go on to defend it for a little bit of time. There's some good stories there, and it can turn, into Dom into a face, surely. See how it recovers from the loss. SmackDown got away with doing what AEW did when CM Punk was coming back. Everybody knew it was the worst kept secret, and you knew AJ Lee was going to be there tonight. So in Chicago, Illinois, the Allstate Arena.
Yeah, there's some AEW quote unquote sickos that are saying like they couldn't even keep this a secret. Hardy har har, but Hardy har har back to you, just like you mentioned, the biggest return in wrestling in a long time. CM Punk wasn't kept a secret by AEW. So it's the same fucking thing.
This didn't need to be a surprise. And here's, I don't want to come down on, AEW, but right here we can see in the Allstate Arena, right, tonight, SmackDown, they had 16,578 tickets distributed. They had 100% sold out house for SmackDown. See? Look at that. Total sellout, complete and total. But
I think WrestlePalooza will be officially sold out now.
Well, here's the thing: Wrestle Dream, Saturday, October 18th, can only fit 4,314. They've only sold 3,300 tickets. I get they're doing smaller venues. It's smart for them to do that.
There's not.
But they can't even hit 4,000 tickets, and that's in Missouri and St. Louis. That's a big market for them. At least it was.
That's great. That's That's what the best in the business do. AEW top tier notch, according to the sickos, by the way.
AJ Lee might
There's
not
nothing
be like a
wrong over there.
ratings mover per se. We know, SmackDown may not get this huge
I
uptick of
think
viewers,
she's a
but
ticket
she's a needle
draw.
mover for social media, for engagement, and she's a needle mover in the terms of previous fans that lapsed out. Hearing her return, the nostalgia for her
They
return,
probably want a
they're
more
going to come back. Like,
woman
this is going to go
audience, too. They
super
wanna gain-
viral. Yeah.
They want to gain woman for their audience too, and I think that will help.
Absolutely. This is going to go super viral. You're going to see like millions of views of this, and WWE is going to tout it everywhere. I still watch AEW as well. Like, that's the thing. I want it to be good. I wanted to look forward to All Out. Right now, though, there's nothing
I wanted to be
booked
good as well.
that's enjoyable. There's no story right now in AEW that I'm holding on to. I figured the Death Riders would be over after Hangman, dethroned Moxley, but they're just limping on and doing the same stuff week in and week out with different heat, and it's just obnoxious. Now Ospreay's out for a while, Kenny Omega's out for a while. It's like who am I? Darby's getting his ass kicked, and then everybody else feels like a multi-man to the nth degree. There's just no singles feud right now that I give a damn about, and that's unfortunate.
Here's my thing with AEW. I want it to succeed as well because I think more wrestling promotions and bigger wrestling promotions is just better for wrestling in general. Because if it's just the big bad WWE has to be lazy again. They can just sign everyone because, everyone from AEW, if they went out of business, God forbid, will just go back over there. You'll get Dean Ambrose, Daniel Bryan, everyone back over there in WWE, and WWE will be like, sure. And you want to know what else is worse for the wrestlers? They're going to be like, you know what? We don't have to pay you much anymore because we don't have to bid with any other wrestling promotions. So you're shit out of luck. And then
you didn't know about being an independent contractor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll just be a bunch of bullshit. So if anyone wants AEW to die, you're an idiot because that will just make wrestling worse. But I think you're also an idiot if you just defend AEW to the core and act like nothing's wrong because you'll be the reason that AEW goes out of business because Tony Khan only listens to you. Sickos, he says. So if the sickos just think everything's fine, you're not going to have an AEW in 2 years. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, even you're not wrong, but they were able to keep this momentum going that they had when Punk was there. They'd be on top of the world right now.
You can thank AEW. The WWE diehards and sickos can defend AEW for their WrestlePalooza and AJ Lee. So you have AEW to thank for that.
We'll be going into a deeper dive about this over the weekend, as we discussed earlier. But I am interested to see.
We have a guilt-free.
Yeah, that as well. But how much does TNA really need to do? Like, what do they need to accomplish to really take that number 2 spot from AEW? Because they're already outselling them in tickets in some markets and areas. Not everywhere, not all the time, but they're increasing. No, coming up. I think it's next weekend. Next Friday is the TNA show. Yeah, so that's what we were talking about before because they've got their Bound for Glory is not until October 12th, and then September 26th is the Victory Road show on TNA Plus. And that's the one we were talking about earlier. That's when Ash by Elegance will take on Masha Slamovich, and either or whoever wins will take on Indy Hartwell. And they've got, some other matches that'll come to be announced soon enough. So that'll be fun to go ahead and review as well. We'll be covering Worlds Collide next Friday. That'll be a blast. Got a lot to look forward to there. That certainly seems like a great show. We got the matches coming up behind us occasionally.
Can I touch one last thing on this whole AEW debate?
Please.
Okay, but with AEW, I think it was a bad move to 3 p.m. I know you might disagree, but you have to worry about your talent and you have to rely on your talent. And by moving, you're going to say, my talent isn't good enough to compete with WWE. That's what you're basically saying. Forget what WWE is doing. Worry about your product, saying, prove that you can go toe-to-toe with a big bad WWE because you said your competition. So you have to do that. You can't just back out and go over there.
They're not backing out. What it is, and you could say they're waving the white flag. Is it defeat? In a way, But what they're basically saying is it's not that they can't compete, it's that they can't compete with WWE's reach, and that's stifling them. So what they're doing is they're
Well, you
allowing
have to do something
themselves-
to also get reach. You have to
Well, that's
put
what
in
they're
creative,
doing. They moved themselves
creative
earlier,
thoughts.
so now every news that
Take the
reports on
lazy route.
wrestling, it's not the lazy route. It is intelligent to do because now people only have so many times of eyes and clicks and things like that. So if they're both running at the same time, you're going to see the AJ Lee headline or the whatever AEW headline. Which one are you going to click? Kind of idea. More than likely, WWE is going to be shared more. WWE is going to trend more. WWE
So they're
because their audience is bigger. So AEW
They're
doesn't
admitting
really have
that
a
they're not-
chance. They're not
So they're
admitting
admitting they're not
total defeat. I'm not
competition,
saying
then.
they're not. It's not a matter of not being competition. It's a matter of them saying we'll get squashed at this time slot. They're still competing because
Yeah.
they didn't cancel the show entirely. That would be saying they're not competition and giving up. They
Oh,
just moved
that
it
means
earlier
Tony
because there's
thinks
only so many things they can report
they're-
on in that point in time.
So Tony thinks there's no one on his roster that can get the engagement WWE has. That's what we're saying here.
No, so you're looking at it from a I don't want to say improper perspective, but unrealistic maybe. It's not that people can't compete, it's that WWE has an established number that already exists that will be magnitudes larger than what Tony's is right now. And for them to, go up against that, they're saying, well, we might as well not even do it because they're not going to get any of the interaction. WWE's will trend more, will be viewed more. All of those metrics will be met. AEW will actually be a detriment to go at that time because they're not going to be able to, as you said, drum up enough attention. So it's dual-fold. It's not that they're not giving up. They're still fighting, but they are admitting defeat. They lost the battle there, certainly. They didn't lose the war, but this is a big hit to them. Having to move the time is a white flag waving, but it's also
How many
smart.
people are going to
It's
just say,
self-preservation.
"Oh, I'm going to watch"? How many people are really going to watch WrestlePalooza instead the pay-per-view that was created out of dust?
Probably more
we're-
people would end up watching WrestlePalooza
How
now
many-
with AJ being there.
If you're
over.
if you're a sicko, you're going to watch AEW, right?
Not necessarily. A lot of people are coming back because of AJ Lee and Brock. There's a lot of people that enjoy both camps. So
Then make it a war.
exactly.
Like, then,
I like what Michael said.
You have to do something.
You can have the best burger
You
in
have
the
to do
world, but you
something to
can't
counter
compete
that.
with well, here's the thing. Listen, you can have the best burger in the world, but you can't compete with McDonald's. If you and I start today with our own burger shack, at Cody and Jake's Burgers, and it tastes the best. It is literally the best cheeseburger in the entire world. Never mind the United States, in the world. Guess what, though? McDonald's is worldwide. They're everywhere. It would be impossible for us to outsell them because they're already established. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't mean we're not trying.
What are you saying?
So they
you
need
would
to do
open
more.
opposite hours of them?
They're open
You would,
24/7, so there's no
If
give
McDonald's
there.
wasn't, if there was, but are you going to?
So you
be,
go
open
when their
overnight.
customer.
If
No,
there's-
I would move my time to when their customers are likely, less hungry for McDonald's numbers. So you could say at breakfast they just want this, so we can go ahead and cater our menu, kind of idea. But you can watch both. You can still have both. But I feel like WWE is established enough that it'll just take over the conversation. Easy enough.
I disagree here. I don't think there's a valid argument. I think you go to war.
They are, and that's why
you
they
counter
moved,
it.
because if
You
they
counter it.
stayed, why
That's
kill
not going
yourself?
to war. That's running.
But if they stayed,
You-
they
you
would've-
countered
it would
it.
be all. No, there is
You
no
counter
counter
book.
there. That's what you're not getting. They have.
There's no counter.
They're not.
Why
in this
can't
regard.
AEW counter? They can't do anything. They
If
can't
they-
come
if
up with a
they
creative
run up
idea to
against
make their show better.
The point is, you have your Sean Ross Sapps and all of your Fightfuls and things like that. They don't always watch both. If you put them head to head, they're usually going to cover WWE over AEW because WWE gives the larger numbers. You understand what I'm saying? So now they're having less people cover it, less people watch it
I don't
because
think you
their
understand.
attention
That's
is
why you
on.
have to put something on your match card. They want to persuade people, and we're saying AEW doesn't
Yes.
have that, right?
But at its highest, AEW is getting 100,000 people to buy and watch their pay-per-views. You're getting 1.4 million on the lower end of people watching your Manias, more for Mania, but your WrestlePaloozas, your SummerSlams. there's a shit. You have, what is that? Minimum 14 times the number that AEW has. It's just a physical impossibility. You could be good, you could be great, you could be better. You're just not being seen. They can try and be competition, but actually moving is smarter because now they're not competing with WWE's time slot. Now they have the news and everything that happens open to them, instead of having to share or be taken over by WWE later in the day. If they went at the normal time with WWE, there would not be enough people watching, reporting, and commenting on it. More people would be watching WWE. It's a fact. It's a numbered fact. So there's only a small margin of people. Like, what did we say? Not even 10% of the amount watch AEW pay-per-views that are watching WWE PLEs. So again, they just wouldn't be able to get enough eyes out there.
They should keep the exact same time that they originally had booked.
So message Tony and tell him he should take his time back. I think they're better off by moving. But anyway, we got to get into SmackDown. September 5th, 2025. They are in Chicago,
You can
Illinois.
message Tony how much of a great
They're
idea.
in Allstate Arena. They are just powering through here. 15,000 almost in this building, fully sold out. They went nuts. Michael Cole, Corey Graves on the headset. John Cena makes it the hell of a kickoff, and Cena is just, he's better as a face. We always had that crazy what if. How would it be if he was not a heel, but a true heel? Because we didn't get that. We got the heel John Cena, but not the true heel. We got the you people. We didn't get the good story. So yeah, we had the countdown in Chi-Town. Cena came out to let us know that his dates are ticking down, and at least he's wrestling on shows that he's showing up and talking on, so you get both a match and a promo out of a date. He's really adding it up for the audience. The crowd starts off with gigantic thank you Cena chants. The Chicago crowd here is very loud. Not quite giving Paris a run for their money, but they're certainly up there. They're chanting. They're having a good time. After the loud thank you Cena chants, John says, on behalf of the locker room, I thank you. You guys were there for all the booze. It's happy hour, and I'm here for all the booze. As Sami Zayn comes out, Sami paints a great picture. Hey, I want to do what you did for me. United States Open, challenge for the title. And John accepts, and we're off to the races. He's like, I don't want to do it a month from now or next week. I want to do it right now. And we got a commercial break. They got a referee out there. Really good opening segment. It was funny to hear Sami get booed so viciously at times. I mean, the fans. What
caused the booze?
Because
I thought it was just online. It was just online. It looks like those boos could transfer over now.
No, I honestly don't think that's going to be a commonality. Honestly, the way I perceive this is just Sami was not John Cena. They were cheering John. They were going to throw babies in the air and marry the man if they could. They would do anything for John. And
crazy, the same arena that booed him out of the building years ago.
Exactly. That's why he's making remarks to that. He's like, you guys can bring the booze. That's what we want to hear. We want to go ahead and see it. We want to go ahead and have you bring it to us. So Sami Zayn, John Cena, U.S. title. I said on Twitter, jokingly, but partially truthful. I said I love Cena, but can an AA even be considered a finisher anymore? I said it seemingly always takes 27 of them in a row to win.
I was joking about that earlier too. That everyone just seems to kick out of this move now. So
constantly,
I don't know if I consider it a finishing move either.
No, what it was, Cody, it really was. It was just like Hogan and Rock, WrestleMania 18. We flash back to yesteryear, and a young Spaz is at his first wrestling show in Toronto.
Yo, we clutched up in Toronto.
That's right. He's there. He's seeing WrestleMania, and they boo The Rock like the biggest heel ever. And The Rock just got crushed in an ambulance by a semi-truck driven by Hollywood Hogan. He ran into him multiple times, and they're cheering Hogan like he's the biggest ever, which at that time he still kind of was. And The Rock turned on a dime, knew how to take it, wrestled as a heel. The crowd eventually gave him some love when he won. He put over Hogan. People loved it. It was a great show that those two put on. You know, like you said, you turn the audio off and it's a terrible match, but the crowd makes it. But they booed just like they booed Sammy tonight. I don't think Sammy, if he's booed next week and anywhere else that's not Chicago, I'll give it to you, honestly. But with this, I feel like it's just, hey, Sammy was the one going against Cena, taking away
I
Cena's
could be
time.
wrong. I'll take the L next week, depending on the reaction. But I think this is like he's been shit on for online basically for a while now. I think this might be starting to transfer
Online is
over.
such a small, tiny. They're vocal, but it's such a minority. I mean, really, it's like you're talking about fractions. I don't think there's enough of a trending sentiment to hurt Sammy. I really think it's just, hey, you're not Cena. That's what bothers us, and that's what they're going with. That's what it felt like to me. But they have their match, and I know Liz and I called it at the same time. I was telling Paul, I said, oh, this has Brock Lesnar breaking up this match written all over it. And these two managed to beat the hell out of each other. We got Cena holding on to the STFU all the way through the commercial break. He lands a couple more AAs, and Sammy's kicking out at like 2.95 out of 3. I mean, he really took it to the last second kick out. Cena even got, like, in the corner. He hit a spear. He did the angle slam and the ankle lock from Angle. I know there was a few other like nods and winks that he had in this match. But eventually, Sami Zayn basically gets a huge avalanche AA onto him. Cena's crawling over to make the cover, and just as he's getting closer, there comes Lesnar. His pyro going off. He F5 Sami Zayn after ripping the referee out of the ring hard. He went down on his ass, his bone hard, tailbone. And the match was called off 21 minutes
Bone
and
hard.
15 seconds. Oh, you're telling me. I mean, that was certainly painful. Fun. I predicted Lesnar breaking it up. He F5 Cena twice. The crowd is eating it up. That they're still booing him, and that's how you know, because people.
Yeah, I know there's an argument. Well,
but they were booing Lesnar as well, and they're all about Cena. So it's a bizarre world, just like.
Do you think
Canada.
that's a fair comparison? Booing Lesnar over with Sami Zayn, because there might be other reasons why they're booing Lesnar.
But they've cheered him when he came back with SummerSlam. I think he'll get cheered for the most part elsewhere. But like I said, bizarre world, and they wanted to rant hard about how this was not Cena. Anybody
That's
that
fair.
wasn't John,
I want to agree with you. I think you're correct, but I just have to know for sure next week if you get what I'm saying. I believe you're correct on the whole they're just booing Sammy, because I was shocked when they booed him. I was like, I wasn't thinking because it was Cena, but
wow.
I think you might be right.
And you know what else? Chargers by 9 over Chiefs. There's 7 minutes left. So if that's true, then I'm 2 for 2 on our predictions, by the way.
There we go.
Imagine if I sweep this entire week.
That would be incredible. We're going to make that a weekly thing, I think.
I mean, we have the video
football
archive. Everybody saw what my picks were. I still have them over here in the Post-it note, but I did it live, so no one could say, oh, he changed afterwards or changed something. We'll see if they're right or not. We'll bring up the video for on-demand proof. Yeah, D. Welsh was just as excited to see AJ. He knows all of my former co-hosting duties. We would get live calls incessantly, and people would go ahead and be like, she's returning. Somebody skipped to the ring. She's returning. And I'm like, no. That's why I get PTSD with Liv Morgan and all her return rumors.
Oh, tell me about it. Fuck.
Dude, you really should see a doctor about that. But Damian Priest, Aleister Black, on paper, this should be an awesome match.
You know what? I need to see a doctor because I said she's going to be face, and uh-oh.
I know. Look at that.
Never say she's going to be face again.
Yeah. It's gross. So Damian Priest, Aleister Black. I thought really that this was going to be kicking the balls good time, but no Shiza for daddy. Unfortunately, the BDSM was out on this one, and really?
I just realized what you were doing, you shithead.
So they had some stiff kicks, some 2 counts. you saw the Razor Edge attempted a few times and choke slams, but they were just, I don't know. It was a mix of like they were selling, then they weren't selling, and then it's like, ow, this limb hurts, but then I don't know, because he goes for the South of Heaven, but then Black grabs the ref and throws him in the way, and he hits him with the Black Mass and gets the win. It just felt like it never really got into any gear besides go, and that was about 5 miles an hour. It just felt very slow.
I agree. And it feels like both Alistair and
they would do
Damian
better
are
singles
both stuck in
wrestlers
this.
or as a tag team, but against each other doesn't work.
I mean, yeah, they both seem to be stuck in a loop, and I'm more surprised about Damian Priest because he was booked well for a while, and now he just seems to be lost in the sauce.
Exactly. And I'm reading an update. So in my town earlier today, there was 200 gallons of phosphoric acid spilled. So apparently a lab that works with it, the spill is in 4 Northrop Industrial Park Road West. They said they had DEEP and hazmat crews at the scene. It was some type of lab and exploded. And there's 200 gallons of phosphoric acid spilled into, we don't know if it's in the waterway or the air, whatever, but that's pretty crazy. So they had an update recently, but it just says no serious injuries have been reported. So my reason for bringing this up is chat's pretty smart. What can I do to turn this into a lawsuit? How can I get like Blinky a third eye or something on my forehead? And phosphoric acid, that's what they use to dispose of bodies, right? In Breaking Bad? I think so, Cody. I think that's
Well,
maybe we could like
wait, you told me you were going to pick something up earlier because of that Home Depot intern I hired.
yeah. So about
Did
that,
those two stories have to do with?
I did not spill 200 gallons of phosphoric acid on my way out because I thought I could do it in my wheelchair and then fell. No.
Oh, that wasn't you.
No.
So where's the
Totally
Home Depot
coincidental.
intern that I hired?
Yeah, that was Lenny. We sent him back to Guatemala, right? And he's fine. But whoever is messing with the system, like I did run like MBAM and stuff, and it was like there's nothing detected on the computer. But like every now and again, after we did that Discord call that you had me go on,
Are
try
you
and
sure
find
it
a new
wasn't
editor.
Spaz?
No, I know it's not Spaz.
Are you sure it wasn't Spaz? Because you
the only thing
text him
Spaz is good at is making amazing thumbnails. That cracked me up. You guys got to check out his YouTube channel. He put up a clip from our recent State of Wrestling podcast about AEW, in fact, and his podcast thumbnail is his game is sharp. You got to go ahead and check that out.
But you texted him you're going to be the 51st. If you know, you know. It didn't happen after that.
No.
Sure.
Yep. Oh, I'm still wearing the bracelet. Damn it. Well, the good thing is we've had no more interruptions, and that's a positive because, all right, let's pull the curtain back a little bit for the audience. Like, all joking aside, we were trying to find an editor so we could put up more clips and stuff like that for shorts. And we talked to this guy. We thought it'd be cool. We gave him channel access at one point. So he's not like me. You can't like delete videos and stuff, but you have access to the channel to like update titles, descriptions, thumbnails. And he was doing okay in the beginning, and then you started interrupting live streams thinking he's funny, like someone from Anonymous, and talking about all this weird stuff. So we went ahead and got rid of them every time, and we managed to go a good while without any issues, and then it started happening again. So I don't know what you did to piss anybody else off, but I thought we took care of our problem.
Me.
I handled my end.
Could it be a person named George?
You used your cell phone. You didn't even take the burner phone, route that I told you to go. You actually used your own cell phone. So I don't know how we're gonna break out of that one.
Oh, burner phone. You sent me this phone, and I thought you said burn the phone.
No. That's what the acid was for. Never mind. So they had a little tiff backstage between Miss Tiffany Stratton and Jade. They're going to have their match a week out at SmackDown. And then Jade gets confronted by Nia Jax. Nia says, get in line. because Jade's getting that title shot first. So Jade's telling Nia, get in line, excuse me. She's like, I'm going to beat Tiffy. Then you can go sort it out in the ring. So, hey, whatever. Then we had Julia coming out with Kiana James, my new fling, and taking on Michin. I wish I can give a shit about her. Originally, I thought they kept her hired because Keith Lee was there and they were trying to do him a solid. But once he went to AEW, I'm like, oh, she has blackmail on Bruce Pritchard, probably, I would guess, right? Like, who else would she have had blackmail on that isn't already gone? Because they got rid of Bucky the Beaver, right? They got rid of, Vince is gone, Laurinaitis. So Pritchard's still there. That's my bet.
Oh, I forgot. Why do I always think of him as Johnny Ace?
Johnny Ace, yeah.
John Lauren, yeah.
So
well, I don't ever think of him as John Laurinaitis.
You think of him as John Bella, right? That's how you think of him.
John Bella, yeah.
I don't know why they're keeping Michin, but she's got some serious dirt on somebody. Mia Yim is like, she's got Polaroids of Bruce Pritchard trying to put his inside the the hand dryer in the bathroom that blows hot air. Like, he took all his entire and took all the meat and stuffed it way up there. I mean, like, just saying. So she got some Polaroids of that. It got stuck. What are you gonna do?
Was the crowd dead for this match?
The crowd didn't give a shit, and Kiana James was out there. It was an 8-minute match that felt like a 2-minute match because nothing happened in my brain.
There's a Women's United States title?
Right? That's exactly how it feels. They've done nothing. Julia has had this belt, I think they said, for like 70-something days at this point. This would be her second defense. It's
I don't
just
even
like the
remember
Raw tag titles when they weren't defending them. I know, because Stephanie's in more of like a prevalent spot. This is not great. And her and Michin and Julia worked well together. Like, it wasn't like it was bad at all, but Michin's a little bit clunky at times and a bit heavy-handed in the sense of, like, she just doesn't look like everything's as fluid as it can be. She looks like, like she's really having to put more oomph into it. It doesn't seem as natural for her as some of the others. You had Alexa and Charlotte in the back. We said Julia won that match, of course. And then her and Kiana beat down Mia Yim, and no one came to help her because no one gives a solitary about Michin, sadly. Backstage, like I said, Alexa Bliss is playing doctor with Charlotte, and she's like, we're going to heal by the power of friendship, and don't be disappointed that you can't compete yet. So we'll see them soon. Yay. Then we pretty much got to the end of the night. So this night flew by. We only had 3 matches because the John Cena opening took what? About 45 minutes. You had 20 minutes for the maybe 50 minutes, because you had 20 minutes for the opening promo between the two. And then the match was like 22 minutes around there, plus all of the Lesnar stuff and his walkout. Yeah, so that was about the first hour almost. And then we had that not so great match from Damian Priest and Aleister Black. Like I said, it wasn't terrible, but it just wasn't good. It just didn't captivate me. Michin and Julia, that's probably 2 stars. I'd give Black and Priest 2 stars. I'd give Cena and Sammy 4 stars. Even with all the finisher spam, that's kind of just what John does at this point, and I would like to see less of it, but it was still very, very, very entertaining. Sammy played his role very well, and the two of them are really good at getting those hope spots where the crowd just, feels like, oh, we can will him to win this. It's fun. So the main event, we get to Seth hiding in the crowd, and there's a massive, and I mean massive, AJ Lee chant going on out there. You think the Cody Rhodes... No, AJ Lee. They're chanting like you would not believe. And it was exciting to just see that place at such a fever pitch. Becky comes out, and she comes out with that terrible theme. I'm sorry, I don't like it. I've tried to get used to it. It's not for me. I know you don't care for it either, right, Cody?
No, we were talking about that when
yeah, how bad Becky's theme is. It's just I am glad AJ Lee kept her theme. But Becky comes out and she's just saying, "How dare you," to the crowd for chanting a wrestler's name when I'm in the ring. And she's the greatest of all time. And she's like, other people are saying this too. And it, it really was just a very solid, delivered well promo from Becky. She's like, there are people saying it like Sports Illustrated and Chicago Tribune. And she's like, all your teams suck. And as you and Liz and others noted, that's funny because of her husband being such a big Chicago Bears fan. She's like, CM Punk sucks, Chicago sucks. And that's when CM Punk starts to make his entrance to the ring. He goes ahead.
I don't think she was thinking of that one, saying that.
Right? I don't think so either. But
she had to go
maybe she did. Maybe she had a little bit of irony in there. Like, Chicago sucks. I don't give a shit what my husband likes. Chicago sucks because they're from here.
That's a Becky Lynch thing to do. And you know what? I'll take an L on something because when Becky Lynch first turned heel, I said it was a bad idea, but was I wrong? Becky Lynch has done amazing as a heel.
Yeah, because you would also question why they didn't have her just return as a heel then. And I said, well, because they knew she would get cheered at WrestleMania. When she came out, people were crying, for goodness sake. There was no chance of her getting booed like that. And it made more sense for her to turn after they lose the titles. Like, oh, we just won these and you cost me this? We only had one night? Are you kidding me? So it kind of made sense with her heel turn. And it was supposed to elevate Lyra as well, but it didn't. I just, I don't know.
You are worthless. Forget about you. Forget about everything you stand for. You represent nothing. You are nothing. A failure for all to witness. Do you feel it? Watch as you crumble.
Remember, like Simpsons, I can't sleep, Klein will eat me. If we don't see it, it never happened. You were making a very good point. Yeah. Where were we? What the fuck was that? You pissed somebody off. I thought we took care of this. Regardless, eventually Punk, as we said, comes out. He's raucous. He's making the place go nuts. Everybody's going.
Hearing everybody go absolutely banana.
Banana. Hey, it worked. We still got away with it. And unlike Joe Hendry, he did show up raring to go. He was in a solid mood. And no, not now. And I went ahead and just loved how they did this. Seth's hiding in the crowd because he wants to just tease Punk. Becky, eventually, after cutting him down, is just slapping the shit out of him. And just, the crowd's already going nuts. And they're saying, like, your cowardly husband is hiding behind a luxury box and then also hiding behind you. And she's like, it's about me. And if, you should be embarrassed. He's like, I'm going to give you one more chance because this has nothing to do with you. And they start chanting for AJ Lee again, so loud. AJ Lee, AJ Lee. And Becky snaps. She tells them all to shut up, all of you. And angrily, she's like, I don't need this. And just as she's going through, he goes ahead and says, they can chant. They can chant for AJ Lee. And you don't think I had people that would kick your ass? Of course I do. And he names off, Becky, Rhea, everybody we had said might be a possibility. He goes to ringside, he walks out, and he's like, I remember he did. He said Jake DeMarco was another female that he would take on his side. Yep. But he said, I would never put my hands on a lady, but thankfully I got somebody that will. Let's light it up. AJ Lee's music hits. I know you're that excited. Easy. I was not summoned. Apparently they sent me out a gorilla. What are you going to do? So I was telling you shut up because you were screaming in my ear like, it's AJ. crying and shit. I'm like, relax, relax. I know. I'm just as excited. Yeah. Well, yeah. I was filming you because I was like, I'm going to send this to your other lady and see how she feels. You freaking out about this one. Liv's going to tell you right away. She's going to be like, you better cheer louder for me when I return than for AJ. And you're like, but AJ's gone for 10 years. And Liv's going to tell you, I don't give a You do it. Did they mute you again? I think Discord muted you again, but we got you back now. Thankfully. I just want this match to happen so badly now without any issues. I hope everybody looks like a fucking star. I want to see this work the best way possible. I want to see AJ do what she does best, and that's wrestle. I mean, she was good on the mic. She was great on the mic. She always held her own. That's why she was able to be Raw GM. She comes out, she's skipping, prancing. She sits on the ropes, does a little, tarantula sit that she does with the spider, with the Tron, with the crowd. I mean, that pop was incredible. And I was just truly blown away. I really, I knew they were going to go nuts, but to go that nuts, I mean, it was expected. And talk about loud. I mean, just intense. Let's see here. We gotta just hit this pop once. I know we might get in trouble, but it's gotta happen.
Is this what they call cinema?
It has to be. I mean, AJ's name was chanted so hard. The fans are waiting. Punk puts the mic down to his side, and you hear the audience just lose their minds. Listen to that. Oh my God. Becky's face sells it. I mean, that pop alone, I mean, if you could bottle that and sell it, I bet you it would cure cancer. That is what these wrestlers live for. That was incredible. I can't get over it. I'm so happy that it went by that well, that she got such an amazing reception. Chicago, of course, brought it. And they were like their own bizarro world. They were the total opposites to Toronto.
Yo, we clutched up in Toronto, elimination check.
So that's why we need a producer/editor that's reliable. Not somebody that's going to keep interrupting the show with bullshit.
Well,
and now I have to have a discussion with our head of cybersecurity and HR because he said that we were good and there was no more, issues. All our ports were closed. There was no back doors open. We should be, should have been fine, but yet somehow we keep getting interrupted.
At least I got that contract where you can't fire me, but I also can't quit, apparently.
Yeah. I'm going to work you forever. That's what it comes down to. SmackDown was more about moments than matches. For as far as moments go, and that ending, that's a 5-star moment. As far as SmackDown itself, I mean, each match, the main event was great for what it was as far as AJ Lee's return. The opening was great with Cena talking. Everything in the middle, the opening match was really good. You knew Lesnar was going to come out and interfere, but back door is always open. I had heard that claim before, but found out the hard way. Water doesn't make a good lubricant. Granted, Sami Zayn, John Cena, that was a damn good match. I was happy with what we got from them. As I said, a little finisher heavy, but certainly worth the 4 stars. The other 2 matches get 2 stars. So, we're out of 15. We're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What do we got? 8 out of 15. Not terrible. Barely passing. It's still a D or F, It's not a terrible score, not a great score. I probably realistically, if I was going to go with everything, I'd give tonight a 7 out of 10. I feel. They said you were muted, but I don't know if you're muted. Go ahead and try talking again.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We'll see if the chat can hear you. You're not muted in here, so we'll find out.
Let's let them know before I give my rating.
Talking again.
Can they hear me now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We'll see. All right, there we go. I just checked it. It's working in the chat. We got it. I think Discord just muted you on the output. For whatever reason, I think
Okay,
if you hit the
well,
mute on the mic, it mutes you on Discord too. FYI. I think that's
So
the culprit.
SmackDown,
Yeah, what's your
I'm going to
rating?
give 7 out of 10 as well.
That sounds fair. I mean, it was a great feeling with that opening, and AJ Lee returning is great. I'm curious to see what happens from here going forward. You know, next week we've got Brock Lesnar, as we said. That's going to be interesting to hear from him and see what his plans are going forward. And besides
Oh,
that,
by the way,
yes.
2 members on the Chiefs are arguing with each other.
Uh-oh.
Ooh,
Trouble in
teammates
paradise, huh?
fighting.
So we've got Lesnar appearing. Then we've got Tiffany Stratton defending her title against Jade Cargill. So that's the WWE Women's Championship. And then Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton, who had a very good promo package done here. And very basic, but it worked. You know, I hate you, you hate me. Let's destroy each other, baby. Yeah. That's what we're getting into. So besides that, SmackDown looks like it's going to be a really good show next week. We'll definitely be covering that live. And then we've got, of course, Worlds Collide after that next week. Interesting to see what they did for matches. Worlds Collide, I just had it in front of me and closed it. I apologize. So I know that Vikingo's taking on Dom again. Then we've got Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana taking on Finn Balor and Roxanne Perez. So we got to see Dom and Di Benito again. You know that apparently Roxanne's supposed to be used more in AAA, I heard. So interesting to see if they have her off Raw and more in AAA going forward. I hope not, but that would be peculiar to say the least. AAA tag team titles. So Psycho Clown and Pagano taking on the New Day. Imagine if they win the tag titles there. Number 1 contender match, which is for the women. So you got Fabi Apache taking on Natalia. I hope it's Natty again, not Natalia, whooping some ass. We got the AAA
There's a
Latin
difference
American
between Natty and
Championship.
Natalia.
Yeah. Dr. Wagner Jr. he's a champ. He's taking on Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, and Ethan Page. It would be great to see Ethan Page win this, or JD McDonough, but, you know, they don't need multiple belts either. So maybe Dragon Lee finally gets a belt here. We'll see. Then we got the 8-man Lucha Showcase. That'll be exciting. And then Penta's also appearing. So it's going to be a fun time. That's taking place directly after SmackDown next week. So we'll be live giving our watch along of Worlds Collide while talking about SmackDown and everything that happened. It's going to be a hell of a time. Plus, we also have, as you said, Guilty or Guilt Free in the podcast UCR episode coming this weekend. The Raw review, NXT review, into Somewhere Weekly, where we'll have predictions for all those shows. Also going to be talking about, the TNA show that's coming up the week after, and informing you about WrestlePalooza. You're going to want to go ahead and check it out. It's just, there's going to be a ton of news before then, so we'll likely go live in between as well. Milo's just not having a good time over there.
I told you to take this seriously. You make everything into a joke. I warned you. I told you your reckoning is coming. The review of Jake is almost here. Whatever you have to hide, whatever secrets you do not want to come to light, they'll see it all